Hello friends, this is Nishant Gautam, Associate Professor from the Department of Pharmacology, Laureate Institute of Pharmacy. Friends, today we will start the third unit as per your syllabus, that is the Autacoids and related drugs. In this unit, the first chapter is Introduction to Autacoids and its classification. So, let us learn the pharmacological concepts of the autocoids. So, if you concentrate on your topic autocoids, the question arises in our mind, what is an autocoid? Actually, as per the Greek terminology, the two words reflects the meaning of this term autocoid. The first is the autos, that means the self, and the second is the acos, that means the remedy. So, what is an autocoid? It is basically we can define as the chemical substances which produced within the body and are capable to help in the remedy of local injuries. Then such substances are considered as a autocoids. Now wait a while and think what we discuss. Let us repeat. The word autocoids comes from the Greek terminology, that is the autos, that means self, and the word acos, that means the relief or healing like the drugs. So autocoids are considered as the self-healing substances. So in a nutshell, autocoids are diverse substances produced by a wide variety of cells in the body, having intense biological activity. But generally, autocoids act locally. For example, they act within the inflammatory pocket. Also, we can say they act at the site of synthesis and release. Such diverse substances are considered as the autocoids. So now you will never forget what is an autocoid. Now let us go through the general features of these autocoids. The autocoids are endogenous compounds. The autocoids play an important role in the physiological and pathological processes. Also, these autocoids have short half-life, and in addition to this, the autocoids having the local action means they are having their action at the site of release. So, as we know, the autocoids are biological factors which act like local hormones, and they are having a brief duration of action. Also, they act near the site of synthesis. Now, let us discuss about the stimuli are responsible for the release of these autocoids and what major pathophysiological changes are carried out by these autocoids. Generally, the autocoids can be released by various stimuli like chemical, ultraviolet light, bacterial toxins, immune irritants, and physical trauma. So these are the stimuli which are responsible for the release of these autocoids. And once these autocoids are released, they may bring about many physiological and pathological changes. especially the reactions to injury and immunological insults, such as the reddening of skin, bronchospasm, pain, and the itching. Then these effects can be sometimes be undesirable and may cause the death of the patient. Thus, to prevent these undesirable effects, we are using the autocoid antagonists as a remedy. Now, after this much discussion, some people will think the autocoids acts as a local hormone. Here, I want to clear one thing. As we know, the autocoids act locally at the site of release and synthesis. So, differentiate them from the term hormone, they are called as the local hormones. But a question is still there. What is the difference between autocoids and hormones? Generally, the autopoints differ from hormone in two ways. Number one, the hormones are produced by specific cells. For example, the insulin can only be produced by the beta cells of islets of Langerhans of the pancreas. But autocoids are produced by virtually all cells. The second concept, hormones transported through blood circulation to act on distant target tissues, whereas the autocoids mainly act locally, means they act near the site of synthesis and release. So this is how in two ways the autocoids are differ from the hormones. Now let us discuss in short about the different classes of the autocoids. The autocoids are mainly categorized into the three classes. Number one, the amine autocoids. They are generally decarboxylated amino acids. In this category, the autocoids are histamine and serotonin, whereas the serotonin is also known as the 5-hydroxytryptamine. Then the second class of autocoids is the peptide autocoids. They are the polypeptides. In this category, the autocoids are angiotensin, plasmacinin, that is the bradykinin and callitin, vasopressin, and vasoactive intestinal polypeptide, substance P, and the slow reacting substance of anaphylaxis. Then the third category or the class of autocoid is the lipid derived autocoids, also known as the eicosanoids. In this category, the autocoids are leukotrienes, thromboxane, sometimes considered as a platelet activating factor, and the prostaglandins. So this is how the autocoids are classified into the three categories. In addition to this, now it has been discovered that some of the autocoids are also found in the nervous tissues. These are the histamine, prostaglandins, and the serotonin. That is also known as the 5-hydroxytryptamine. So, in the nervous tissues, these autocoids functions as neurotransmitters also. So, as per previous discussion, autocoids are self-healing substances, also considered as a local hormone, but differ from the hormone. And also they functions as a neurotransmitters. In addition to this, the autocoids are capable for carrying the physiological and the pathophysiological changes. Still, a question arises, what's the function of autocoids? Actually, the autocoids shows the active participation in number 1, inflammation, number 2, allergic reactions, number 3, anaphylactic reactions, but in this case not so much. Number 4, they shows the active participation in the neurotransmission. Number 5, they shows the active participation in the gastric acid secretion. And in addition to this, they shows the active participation in neuroendocrine regulation. And on another hand, if you will talk about the functions of autocoids in the CNS, the autocoids in the CNS are responsible for number 1, wakefulness. Number 2, they are responsible for the decreased appetite. Number 3, they are responsible for the regulation of drinking. Number 4, they are responsible for regulation of temperature. Number 5, they are responsible for the secretion of antidiuretic hormone. Number 6, they are responsible for the control of blood pressure. Also, in addition to this, as a CNS regulatory function, they are responsible for the perception of the pain also. So, finally, in a nutshell, the major role of autocoids we can summarize as they plays the major role in the pathophysiological processes, mainly the reactions involving to the injuries. The autopoints plays the major role in the transmission and the modulation. And finally, we can say the autopoints plays the major role in the regulation of physiological functions. Friends, so we will discuss more about the autopoints in the coming future. So stay tuned with me. That's the end of this chapter. Revise the topic from the book. Have a nice day and thank you.